Hello and welcome to the Reclaim and Master Your Energy Online Summit. In this global online event, a total of 21 speakers will share their knowledge, wisdom, and experience to help you create practical and easy to implement sustainable strategies for your personal energy management. Instead of experiencing stress and burnout, it is fully possible to enhance your energy levels on a daily basis, live a life in balance with your feminine energy, and have more peace, success, health, and abundance. This summit will give you the tools to live with the natural cycles, thrive, and create impact in the world the way you want. I am Willemijn Maas, and I'm your host for this global online event. And my goal for this summit is to bring awareness to exhaustion, stress, and burnout because so many women are suffering unnecessarily. And if you are here listening to this talk and to the summit, you are probably experiencing energy issues too, and you want to prevent your energy to take a nosedive. And you're so right, because we need our energy now more than ever. And there are so many inspired women who know that they have a powerful message to share and they know they can make an impact if only they had the energy to do it. Women like you and me are ambitious beings, and we have the ability to create the world and to change the world through our personal life, our children, and our work or business. And the world needs us, and the world needs you. You are worthy, you are entitled to have better health and energy so you can shine your light into the world. That's why energy is so critically important. With energy, we are able to create, do the things we want, we are taking action, and we can manifest what we want. So increasing energy starts with being aware of how you feel so you can take appropriate action. When we know the symptoms of low energy, we can track them and find out what works for us. I also feel strongly that as a collective, we are called to live more sustainably and more in relationship to the earth. We have forgotten our roots, that we're coming from nature, and in the way nature is treated, abused, and polluted, we see mirrored how we treat our own bodies. And bringing awareness to the similarities will benefit your own energy, and it will also benefit the planet we live on. And the importance of restoration will be the key subject in this summit. During the summit, 21 female thought leaders and experts will speak about overcoming stress, exhaustion, burnout, and chronic illness, and the importance of sustainable energy management strategies. The summit interviews will air one by one over a period of 9 days between March 21st and March 29th. On the speaker pages below the interviews, you will find links to the free gifts provided by the speakers to help you on your journey. All interviews stay visible on the Summit website for 48 hours after they initially air. And after that, you can still have them available to watch or rewatch at your own convenience by purchasing the Unlimited Access package. There's a link at the top of the event schedule page where you can find the upgraded Unlimited Access package. This package will also contain bonus downloads and bonus webinars. The early bird price of the package will go up March 23rd. So if you would like to have unlimited access, including the bonuses, now is the best time to purchase. But remember, all interviews are free to watch for you the first 48 hours after they air. My talk today will be about 3 key strategies to more energy. There are several energy management strategies out there, but a lot of them are asking us to do more instead of less. For example, we know that moving our bodies is good for health, but heavy exercise or running marathons can also lead to burnout. And in the fitness industry, this is quite known that a balance needs to be found between action, doing, training, and resting, and that sustainability is key. But in our working life and in society, this is not something that is honored and is familiar, that people are familiar with yet. So we can take that knowledge from the fitness industry. And also, there are also strategies that maybe don't light you up, or they maybe drain you, like a rigorous diet or something else that feels restrictive to you. And it will probably not contribute to your energy if you don't like something. If it doesn't contribute to your joy, to you feeling better, it will probably not contribute to your healing and well-being either. So that is why it's important to know yourself and to know what works for you and what's aligned with your truth. So I invite you to listen to the interviews with this in mind. There are energy practices that will be shared with you. And it's important that to ask yourself the question, how can I make this work for me? Instead of just copying and losing yourself in the process, because this will not help you in the end. And I also strongly recommend listening to the summit interviews with a journal at hand, so you can write down the key lessons and your insights about them. And I can't wait to share my experience and the summit interviews with you, because there are so many valuable messages in there. Before I dive into the key strategies to more energy, I'd like to share a little bit more about my story with you, so you have a clearer understanding of why I wanted to do this summit and why I wanted to bring this message to the world. I wanted to create this summit because I saw a need among so many women with low energy and chronic illness. There are a lot of people registered for this summit, which to me is evidence of this. And women often feel that when they have low energy, or they feel not really inspired, or they don't feel uplifted, or just are tired, fatigued, or exhausted, that they are weak somehow, that they are unworthy or less than. Well, the truth is that you have a very powerful message to share, and it's often through your personal journey, and this could have a massive impact on so many others. And I feel it as my mission to help you experience how you can take your own medicine to the world and make an impact on other people's lives without sacrificing your own health and energy. I'm really passionate about this subject of burnout because I have suffered from health issues like burnout and chronic pain myself. And although I have a medical background, I didn't know what was wrong with me at first. And when I finally understood, I felt defeated, weak, vulnerable at first, because I wasn't able to stay healthy myself while I was working as a medical doctor in the healthcare system. And that felt really like I did something incredibly wrong, that I wasn't even able to keep myself healthy. So when I suffered from severe burnout, it felt like total failure to me at first. And it caused a lot of grief, sadness, and judgment about myself as well. And I always thought that burnout happened when you just overworked, and that you didn't know how to plan smart, or that you just didn't know, how to structure your day or something. And I wasn't one of those people. I was extremely good at planning. I was always, I always made every deadline. I was always ready in time. There was no problem with my work ethic. And still I crashed into burnout. And now I can see what happened and why it happened to me. And now I'm determined to lead the way for others who are going through this as well. Because what I see on social media, especially on professional platforms like LinkedIn, there is a lot of victim shaming of people who suffer from burnout and fatigue. And I think this is not true. It's a symptom of society's blindness of what is true about life and how energy runs through our bodies. And it's just an epidemic of people telling other people that, if you are in a situation where you're experiencing burnout, just get your life together, take some rest, and then go on. And that's not how it works. So after years of working in healthcare in a very patriarchal system, obviously, that is slowly overtaken by economic values more and suffocating human values, which is healthcare, I was really tired, really, really tired. And when I look back, it probably started somewhere during med school already. And I have been tired for so long And to me, fatigue was something that was just a part of life. It was a part of me. I couldn't even remember when I felt, reinvigorated, replenished, just when I felt rested. It's for me, it was just part of life. But that's not the truth. It's not a part of life. Over the past few years, I also had to navigate motherhood and young children, and the separation. And due to having a responsible job and being on call 24/7, trying to live up to the expectations at work and my own expectations, being a young single mom and having financial difficulties after separating, my health really suffered. I crashed into burnout and I had no idea what was going on with me. And the only thing I knew that from the symptoms I had arrhythmia, chest pain, difficulty concentrating, remembering things. I couldn't speak. I had severe digestive and sleep issues. So I knew from I was a medical doctor, so I knew something was seriously wrong, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I couldn't diagnose myself because I didn't really know what burnout was in the first place. So I went to my doctor, and regular healthcare had no answers. I was told that it was just stress and that I needed to reduce stress. I didn't know how, because how would I just do things in my life differently? I had no clue. And I was told that I better get back to work ASAP before my body got used to the inactivity and got used to resting. So let that sink in for a moment. There were doctors telling a doctor like me that she had to get back to work before her body got used to resting. And when I heard that phrase, something clicked for me. I thought, this can't be the way that life is running for people, that you cannot, allow your body to rest. And when I was reflecting on that, it was something that I had always done. And what doctors do, and by the way, lots of others do too. For example, moms, they don't rest. They never rest. They get back up on their feet. They carry on. And something in me said that I needed to obey that urge, like I had always done. But mostly I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. It felt to me that if I got back on my feet and worked, that I would die. And my body gave me the final warning, and I listened. So of course, this time I didn't get up and I didn't go back because I couldn't walk up the stairs without resting. I couldn't take care of my children. I couldn't dress myself because I had no clue what to put on first. I couldn't find my way in the supermarket. I was getting lost on my way home. My brain didn't work and my body stopped, and it was literally all systems down. And it took me 2 years to recover. And I'm so passionate about this because this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen to anyone. It shouldn't have happened to me, and it shouldn't happen to you. So that is why I'm so passionate about this subject and about this summit, and why I want to bring this to you. So what I did, I lost my job. And what saved me was that I had always been interested in complementary healthcare and yoga, meditation, and spirituality. I just never really found the time for it to study it. But while I was recovering, I started studying these practices more, and I implemented what I loved, and I felt so much better. I started following the rhythms of the seasons and the moon in more detail. I had always been tracking the moon cycle and the phases of the moon, but I never worked with it. But I could feel that I could feel the energy of the moon cycle in my body. And I could feel my energy shifting while I was working for it for a longer time. So after a while, I began planning according to my personal energy rhythm, and it helped me prevent doing things that drained my energy. It made me make better choices. It was a long journey, but it was worth every step of the way. And what I also know now is that I wouldn't recommend going as deep as I went because it's not necessary. And you can increase your energy daily, grow your resilience, and feel better when you have the right tools and strategies. Over the past few years, I studied stress and energy from different perspectives, like traditional healthcare, like traditional medicine, neuroscience, but also from the perspective of yoga, philosophy, energy management, and energy medicine. And I truly believe that a holistic approach to energy is what is most important. This summit will give you more insight in different areas of energy management in a holistic way. And what I would like to do now in this first interview, in this talk, is to share 3 key strategies with you that are extremely important for energy management. So these 3 strategies, these key strategies are, first, awareness of the energy levels in the body. Secondly, know yourself. And thirdly, restoration is key. So let me start with the first key strategy, awareness. The truth is that most people are not consciously aware of their energy levels. So I use the battery analogy for asking yourself what percentage your energy is right now. So if you take a moment, close your eyes, feel into your body, what would you say your energy battery percentage is right now? Is it 20%? Is it 80%? For me, at this moment, I would say 75%. That's because I had a good night of sleep. But I also did some things this morning, so my energy is not 100%, but it's a little bit lower, but it's still pretty good. So that's okay. But what I also knew was when I was in severe burnout that my energy didn't peak above 25-30% during the day, and mostly was lower than that. So this battery analogy gives you an easy way to tune into your energy percentage, which gives you awareness and a key about are you tired or not, basically. And when you tune into your body that way, like multiple moments per day, like where's my energy this morning, and then in the afternoon, then in the evening, your body will start speaking to you. It will be giving you more information about how you are feeling and what you need. And sometimes that information is not what we want to hear. For example, we don't want to be tired. We just want to be very, energized, and we want to do everything we want to do. And sometimes or often we override the messages of our body because of our internal and external expectations. For example, work. If you are at work and you have to do a presentation and you have an energy percentage like which is 35, you don't want to know, because the only way that you can do the presentation is to just override it and go. That's how you feel. Well, the better thing to do is to probably rest first, because 35 is really low. So work, family, all sorts of obligations, and even our own dreams and desires can be in the way of listening to our body. Sometimes we just want to go out with friends, or we just want to go on a trip or be outworthy, like outward energy. And sometimes it's even the ego's voice that wants us to do things. It's the ego expectation, like, I need to go with my friends, otherwise they will not see me anymore, or I will not be important, or I have to go and pursue this career because otherwise I won't make the money and I cannot buy this car I need or want. So even our dreams and desires, or the dreams and desires we think we have, can override our true needs. Awareness is key because when we are aware of our energy levels, we can make more conscious decisions around our energy, what we are going to do and what we are not going to do anymore, what we are going to stop doing. And it will bring you closer to what really, truly matters to you. So this brings us to the second key strategy, and that's know yourself. It's really important to know what is valuable to you and what is not. So you can put energy in the things you want to have more of. And your values, what's important to you, will guide you in making decisions towards the things you want to have more of. So that the things that are not aligned with your values, they can be neutral, but I can also drain you. So, for example, you have a situation like a relationship you're in, and somebody's really, not very friendly towards you. You have, for example, you have a colleague or a friend who's not treating you with respect, and respect is one of your values. This can be a really draining relationship, but it can also be that something is not aligned with your values, but doesn't affect you emotionally as much, and then it could be neutral to you. But it's important to know your values so you know why something is triggering you emotionally or not. When you are acting in alignment with your values and with your true self, you will feel happy, you will feel joyful, you will feel in flow and inspired. And all these positive feelings, happiness, joy, being in flow, ease, inspiration, this fuels your energy. And when we are living out of alignment, it will put us in a constant mode of energy leaking and fighting. And basically, this fighting mode is what stress is. It's a fight or flight response, and the fight and flight response is pretty known. It causes a hormonal reaction in the body. Fight-flight is a reaction to threats. It is our sympathetic nervous system being activated. This can be a car coming at us while we're crossing the street, for example, or like a dangerous animal, like a snake we come across, and which is really poisonous, for example. Then it is really helpful to have this reaction to threat. Because it saves our lives. We can jump away from the car. We can run from the snake. And the fight-flight reaction prepares our body for the flight or the fight movement and the action. So your heart rate goes up, your breathing will be faster, your digestive system shuts down. There are all sorts of reactions in your body when the cortisol, when the stressful situation arises. Then cortisol rises, which is cortisone rises. That's the stress hormone, and this will cause all these reactions in your body, so you can run or you can fight the threat. And like in modern life, we often run into situations that are stressful, but not really a threat at that moment. For example, it could be a relationship that threatens our values, or a work situation that threatens our expression of our true self. This, of course, is not it's not like life-threatening, but it is still a threatening situation for this system, for your body, and it will still cause your brain to signal threat, and it will still cause cortisol to rise, and it will still cause all these reactions in your body. And when that happens, like, short time, that's no problem. The body can regulate this stress reaction. But long term, this causes real issues in the body, because we're not only talking about heartbeat going up and breathing going faster and digestive system shutting down, but we're also talking cell generation that stops, inflammation happening in the body. Long-term stress has impact on the brain, and it dysregulates all sorts of other hormonal processes. And the body will be in constant action mode, and this will take its toll. So to reduce stress, it is really important to make decisions that are more aligned with who you are. Sometimes this is really difficult because we have to deal with other people's distress or rejection or anger, but ultimately the price for internal fight, like fighting our own values, is higher than the reward for avoiding the external fight. So what I'm saying with that is, it's more important to live a life true to your own values than a life that is only weighing into the expectations of others and pleasing others and avoiding conflict with others. Because when you avoid conflict with others, there is a conflict going on in yourself. And that internal conflict will cause the fight-flight reaction. It will cause a stress system to be firing constantly, and it will cause physical issues in the long term. So the second key strategy, know yourself. That's important. It's so important to know what gives you energy, what drains you, and assess this for yourself. It's important to do a personal energy audit every now and then. And what I mean by that is that in all areas of life, you make a sort of an assessment of how your energy levels are, your overall level of happiness, satisfaction in that area, for example, relationship, work, spirituality, purpose, family life, physical health, etc. And also in that personal energy assessment, think about what you're doing that fuels you and what drains you. This gives you a much more clear picture of the areas you would like to change something in, and it gives you more insight in the things that are really important to address. For example, if you have like 3 areas you would like to change something, and one of the areas you rate yourself a very low happiness and satisfaction level, I would say that would be the first area to address in your life to increase your energy quickly. So once you have mastered the skill of doing a periodic, say like a monthly or quarterly energy assessment, you'll have more awareness, and you also get used to how energy feels in your body and how you are in all these areas of your life. And it will give you more tools to change specific things that will help you take focused action towards immediate alignment and immediate change and immediate energy. So if you feel like you want your energy situation, your personal situation evaluated in a holistic way to get clarity on where you would need to make some changes that are more aligned with who you truly are, then you might want to check out my free gift. I'm giving away 5 energy booster audits to 5 lucky winners. To apply, you can just click the link below the video, the interview, and you can fill out the application form there. And the winners will receive an invitation by email to a call with me where we will dive deep into your personal situation to identify the primary areas where you are leaking energy right now and what you can do about that. So if you would like that, just fill out the application form. The third key strategy, so the first 2 were awareness of your energy levels and how you're feeling. The second one was know yourself, what you think is valuable and what you think is important to you. And the third key strategy is restoration. I talked about the fight-flight response and the sympathetic nervous system that is activated in that situation. And this has impact on the body. And as I just shared, the body is perfectly capable of coming back from short energy, stressful situations where the sympathetic nervous system is activated. And the body does this by activating the counterpart, which is called the parasympathetic nervous system. To come back from stress and from the fight-flight modus, the body needs that parasympathetic activation. And the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for restoration, regeneration of cells and tissues, it's also responsible for your digestive processes in your body and the reproductive processes in the body, which makes total sense, because when you are running for, when you're running for your life, because there's this situation, in the ancient times, when there was this stressful situation of, for example, a tiger chasing you, your body is not really interested in digesting the meal you just had, and it's not really interested in reproduction. It just needs to survive. So that's what the sympathetic nervous system does. And the parasympathetic nervous system brings down the stress reaction in the body and takes your body back into restoration mode. And usually sleep does this for us. However, in the Western world, sleep is really low quality nowadays. It's often disturbed by artificial light, screen use, and the more stress and fatigue we experience during the day, the more difficult it is for the brain to switch off and to go into restoration mode. So the more stress we experience during the day, the more difficult it is for the parasympathetic nervous system to bring down that stress response. So then stress will stay present in our energetic system and our nervous system, and that will take its toll eventually. So you can help your parasympathetic nervous system and the restoration mode by resting. So rest is really important. Sleep more, go to bed early, and nap during the day if necessary. And I know that is not always possible. For example, when you are a young mother with children not sleeping through the night, or you are on call in a hospital or some other job, you have to work the night shift, or you're just busy and you have that deadline to make. I know it's not always possible, but it's possible more often than you think. And more experts are talking about the importance of sleep and how a lack of sleep is negatively impacting our health. Some people are paying more attention to this, but society still devalues sleep. Not sleeping enough, working all the time, the action mode constantly is worn as a badge of honor. And this is true for most people in their working lives. And, just pay attention to how people talk about sleep and the lack of sleep and how they sort of brag about not having had sleep and so forth. It's really difficult to give in to our bodily needs and surrender to rest, because society doesn't value that at all. And we ourselves don't value it either. So we need to shift the collective mindset around rest, sleep, and restoration, because it's making us sick if we don't. That's just the truth. And I'm giving you the truth here. So you will also find, because this is something that we don't give ourselves permission to do, and society doesn't give us permission, that resting brings up a lot of stuff. It brings up conditioned beliefs about yourself and your worth, expectations you have for yourself, expectations that others project onto you. And it takes time to get used to a new habit as well. And it also takes time for people around us to get used to new habits. So when you are suddenly paying more attention to resting and sleeping, others around you will have questions, and they will have to get used to this as well. So allow for that, and remember that you are not a machine. You are part of nature, and you need time to restore and renew. And I truly, truly love the analogy of seasonal living or cyclical living, where we live with the natural cycles. When we look at nature, we can see that there are 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. And these 4 seasons are equally needed. We cannot skip spring, because then we will not have a harvest in fall. And the same way, we cannot skip the winter or the hibernation or the sleep phase of nature, because if we would skip that, there would be no fertilizing of the soil, so there will no growth in spring. And this cyclical way of looking at growth and natural growth and how we are part of nature, how we as humans are evolved over thousands of years to be part of nature. This is so important to recognize. We need the 4 phases. We need rest. Just like we need summer and being outward and being energized, we also need rest. We are not above nature. And this is something that since the Industrial Revolution, like 150 years ago or something, started to happen, that humans were getting disconnected from nature, and that they were treated and started to treat themselves like machines, like robots, that we have to be the same every day. And the truth is we are not the same every day. We have our cyclical rhythms as women as well. We have our menstrual rhythms, our hormonal rhythms, which are, interesting enough, just as long as the moon cycle, the lunar cycle. And we can live with those cycles and in tune with those cycles. And you will feel that when you start living with these cyclical rhythms, that resting is a natural thing to do, and you will feel inclined to do so, and you will give yourself permission to do so. And then you will benefit benefit from these cycles, these natural cycles that guide you, like the moon cycle, the seasons, and the menstrual cycle, because they mirror the seasons inside ourselves as well. And so there are 3 keys to more energy, to recap what I have just shared with you. The first one is awareness of your energy levels. Are you tired? Are you energized? And the language of your body. What is your body telling you? What do you need right now to raise your energy levels? The second one is know yourself. Know your values, your true self, so you can make conscious, aligned choices that light you up, that energize and fuel you instead of drain you. And make conscious decisions around the things that drain you. Release them from your life, give them up, do something else that really, truly lights you up. And the third key strategy is restoration and recovery. It's extremely important for your health, well-being, and growth. And cyclical living is a great way to be more aware of where you are and where you are, in which cycle you are when you need to rest. It helps you to honor every phase and to shift your mindset about the importance of rest. These key strategies that I just shared will be covered in more detail during the Reclaim and Master Your Energy Summit and will be looked at from different angles. So during the summit, you will learn to reconnect to sustainable and natural energy management strategies to increase your energy on a daily basis. You will also learn awareness around your energy, around stress and what burnout symptoms are, for example. You will also learn how to shift the mindset around rest, productivity, success, and work in general. You will learn how to tap into your intuition and inner guidance to make more guided decisions on what is important to you. And there will be easy to implement energy healing practices shared with you by some of the speakers. And there will much more that will be of value to you, I'm sure. So we will start off this summit with a couple of interviews about burnout and recovery from fatigue exhaustion, because awareness is key strategy number 1. Then we will hear from 2 amazing women who have a life philosophy about doing less and accomplishing more. There will be empowering interviews about recovery from chronic illness and stress through yoga, nutrition, and cyclical living. And cyclical living will also be explored and deepened in a couple of interviews. And also energy will be explained in more detail, expanding from the physical body to the other layers of the body, for example, the energy body and the chakra system. And finally, we will end the summit with 2 powerful interviews about mindset and how we ourselves unconsciously block the flow of energy. Because when you are aware of your blocks and where you do something where the energy cannot flow, that will also be tremendously helpful. So all in all, a very comprehensive and powerful lineup of speakers and topics, and I'm certain you will enjoy the interviews and find tremendous value in the lessons that are shared. So I would like to thank you very much for your participation in the summit and for watching my talk. And please know that if you're struggling with low energy, there is hope, and it is possible for you to feel better too. You can have more energy. You can create the impact that you want to have in the world and in your personal life. So for now, there's nothing more to say for me other than enjoy the summit. And I can't wait to hear from you what you think about it and what were the most valuable lessons for you, the most important takeaways. So if you feel called to share anything with me, please do so. Enjoy the summit, and gonna see you later. Bye.